Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. We're playing D&D. Thanks for joining us. All right, so last we left off.
We were all dying.
Yeah, exactly. In the moment that you felt this energy emanate from your hand that pushed out the spiritual consciousness, this entity that came leading the rest of them towards trying to kill Olgan, you recalled something. You can see what was, yourself in front of what looks like that temple. And you can see that as your gaze becomes not your own in this moment, that you enter into the temple. And you can see that you start mumbling next to what looks like a 2-story bed. And you can see what looks like Dallin, and you can see that he follows you. And you can see as you go towards what looks like the doorway in the back of the grain room, and you can see as you open it, and Dallin looks at you questioningly, and you can see as he follows you down. And you can see that as he does so, and he follows you down, eventually you find yourself leading him to before that mirror once again. And as you turn towards that mirror, you can see the same creature that you just saw on that battlefield rush out and grab him and drag him and pull him into it. And then you can see as this creature comes back out of the mirror and looks at you, and your gaze returns to your surroundings again.
Yeah. Zach is just be like, fuck! We need to get...
Olgan, what do they mean by the king's blood?
I am the last of my line. My cousins were the heir to the throne of the Velengals, and they were killed, making me the heir. But I am no king. My kingdom is lost. I have nothing. I don't know why they think my blood is worth anything.
It must open a door or something. I don't think your kingdom is lost. It must not be.
I don't mean forever, but I think you know what I am saying. It is no longer in my control, or our people's.
Well, he wanted you dead for some reason. That might have really been bad if they would have taken you out. We were going to have to protect you with everything that we have.
All the more reason to get to them before they get to me again. We're gonna have to do something about you.
Yeah, this is a problem.
He can't drop the circlet. It's bound to him.
You watch as the last throws of this crown bearer's blade are out, and you can see that he says, "Hold out your hand." You watch as he touches this to it, and you can see as it dusts. You can see as this crown bearer's blade loses its form.
The ring just...
Ring drops.
It's gone.
Gone.
That was amazing! God damn it, we probably could have told him about that forever ago.
Probably.
I thought he was going to cut your hand off. I was going to.
I thought about it.
That'd have been easier.
Kind of thought he was going to do that too.
I asked you on the horse. I took out the blade. You seemed to say no.
I didn't think that blade was going to do anything. No, to be fair, that's not the same blade as you in quality, I would say.
That's pretty good.
It's not that good.
It's really not that good.
All Ixilvorian powers are subject to Zazimos' will. Clearly, he doesn't want you bound by her.
Well,
Why would Zazimos care? Interesting.
he did betray the original entity that made Moringa. Probably doesn't want to get any stronger. For whatever reason.
Well, we know that they're here for the heart. And we know it's here.
See as he looks at his hand where the blade was. I intend to stop that search forever.
We're going to need to get ourselves a bit rested up because you took a walloping. We need to be in the best possible position.
Watches Tarfi. I'm fine. I don't need to rest. No, seriously. If there's anything I could be doing that's more useful.
Yeah, if anyone needs any immediate quick bandaging, I can do so.
Watches Olgan. Raises his hand.
Yeah.
Slowly, though.
Roll a 6. A 1.
Oh, it still hurts.
So he gains 7 HP.
Oh,
My minimum.
that's rap.
Does anyone else? Rudy's taking kind of a beating too.
He has, yes. He has 51 HP right now.
Do you want me to give him a little medkit love?
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets 9 HP.
Excellent. And is it morning or evening?
It's about midday right now, about noon. As you guys are finishing up your second leg of the day of travel, you have about another hour of travel. It's only taking you guys 3 hours to do this. That's just because you're moving stealthy and a little bit slower. You guys probably could have on horseback, if you guys were moving fast and as loud as possible, probably could have made this journey in like an hour and a half, right? But you guys are moving stealthy and avoiding most things. The only thing that's really found you was the invisible thing, and then a sudden ambush that was clearly unavoidable.
Yeah.
Jeez, we might as well just run through this thing. We're running into
You guys
stuff
haven't been
anyways.
seen. You guys have only been seen by one thing as you guys have been moving, and Dagsman.
We've been pretty good at being stealthy. I just feel like
We almost just died. That's not stealthy enough.
I mean, that was going to happen regardless. At least I was carrying the creature with me.
Oh, that is very true.
So, I say we continue to be stealthy. We're almost there.
I agree about continuing on to be stealthy.
We want to avoid any more combat at this time because we're going to be going to need to recover as much as we can. Can't spend anything else.
You're right. Okay.
Go ahead and make a luck roll for me. This needs to be a 13 or up.
It's a 16.
A 16.
I also need some healing.
That's so good. You have no idea.
Really?
You have no idea how good that is. Yeah.
Well,
You have enough for one more?
for who?
Me.
Yeah. Let me scroll up and see how many I've used, because I just used 3. Okay, and then I'll hit you with 1. Man, I'm rolling like garbage. 8.
Hit me up with 1 too. I should probably be in tip top. You don't need to roll. It's minimum's probably going to get me there.
Oh, perfect.
Minimum is 7.
Yep, that'll get me there.
8 full.
Okay. You've got the highest so far, though. You would have gotten.
And then I can just do my temp HP
The shame is.
thing.
Yep, of course. You
Couple
can
times,
always do
right?
that.
All right, so I just used the heal
Until you
kit
get to 8, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
All right, gotcha.
So I have 2 uses remaining on this one.
Yeah, and Tarfi has all the rest. I don't know why he even said he had only a certain amount. He has all. So, as you guys are moving, someone roll a d6 for
I
me.
have 1 use because I got to heal the horse.
Gotcha. Yep. Just average it. It's easy.
It's a 5.
A 5. No 5s. Reroll. No 5s, no 4s.
That was 4. 2.
2.
2 God.
Their horse gets 7 HP back.
The gazelle? Or the one that
horse,
was
the
down?
one that went down.
You guys see, as you guys are moving forward, but it doesn't see you. You guys see what looks like one of those creatures that came down and flew towards you. You can see a large, what looks like 2 large squirrel creatures that are high up in the trees. They're about like 60 feet up in a tree, about 300 feet away from you guys. You guys notice them. They do not seem to notice you guys. You are able to, with your guys' survival and your stealth, you're able to easily evade them if you wish to, but they are 300 feet away from you, these two large squirrel creatures that are in the trees.
We don't see Kroll with them, do we?
Make a perception check.
A 25.
A 25. In your spyglass, as you're looking past that direction, you can see what looks like a creature that's humanoid. You can see what looks like the face of the Skiri that is on his face, and you can see what looks like a short sword at his side and what looks like a short bow on his back. And you can see that as his face, that you're noticing it, you can see that it slowly shifts back into what looks like a smaller state, into the form of what looks like a dwarfling. And you can see as it does so that it's kind of just like looking around up at these Skiri, and you can see as these Skiri notice it, that it waves at them, and then it shifts back into that Skiri looking form that it has, and you can see as it whistles and these creatures start coming towards it. As it whistles, you can see what looks like 4 more Skiris and treetops that come towards him from different directions that you didn't notice previously.
Cool. It seems some of Kroll's friends from his night walk. Oh wait, did he tell all of you about that or just me?
Just you.
Kroll went on a night walk, and he said it was a hunt with these squirrel people. I actually
The ones he lied about flying on?
What?
The ones he lied about flying on.
Clearly not a lie. Perhaps we should stop discrediting everything he says.
You do see as they're gliding between trees to trees, it looks like they glide from one tree jumping, climb up that tree, and then re-glide, then climb up and re-glide from treetop to treetop to tree bank.
Maybe we should travel by tree. That's how Dag and his boys were doing it.
We could try. I don't think I want to risk falling, though. These are pretty big trees. I'm not the most dexterous.
That's true, and we'd have to leave the horses behind.
I think we should just continue on this.
Okay.
As you guys are talking, you can see what looks like a lizard, and you can see that this lizard, you can see he has like what looks like 3 pieces of paper that seem to be rolled up on his back, and you can see what looks like a little piece of paper inside of its mouth.
Grab them.
Gotcha. You can see what look like 3 scrolls, and you can see what looks like on a piece of paper. You can see what looks like in Ali's handwriting from the Righteous Storm. Failed to kill Sombra, succeeded at extracting Dibbles.
I won't say anything, but I will pass the paper to you.
I'll look at it. I'll read it. I'll just like smile, and then I'll give it to
You recognize these 3 scrolls that you see before you. You can see what looks like a couple things that you've seen Ali do. You can see what looks like Pass Without a Trace, and you can see what looks like Healing Spirit, 2 of them.
Oh, I might want to use those now. At least one of them. Maybe.
Oh, actually, well, this is a thing that we can just do retcon. I had
Plus
healing
your
spirit.
thing, how many times can you do it is all that I'm asking. Like 7? Proficiency plus wisdom mod, is that how it works?
For healing spirit?
Yeah. I just need to know the amount and then just roll those d6s and apply them as you will.
Right. Let's see.
While that is going on, you guys can see what looks like as you're moving forward. You can make an investigation check.
That's not updated.
That's not so bad. That's 12. Actually, it's terrible.
And perception check for you, Virkin.
Okay.
Is this 6, not a 9? 12. Not good.
23.
23. You notice what looks like up in some trees. You can see that one of the embankments of branches that's up there, you notice what looks like a dwarfling that's sitting there, and as you notice it, you can see that it notices you, and it just waves, and then you can see as it just like points down, and you can see that on the ground, that's where it points, you can see what looks like a rope just drop down. You can see that this rope is tied in a couple knots, all the way extending up, so that way it can be easily climbable. It just extends down about 50 feet from this branch.
Well, it seems it wants us to go up that rope.
As you are doing
Why
so,
not?
you hear a whistle, and you can see behind another thicket of trees what looks like, now that you're looking, what looks like a lot of underbrush and foliage that's surrounded, but behind it you can see what looks like horns of what looks like several geepzels. And you can see as there's a wave from a dwarfling that's back there as you catch its attention, and then it just gestures to all of you guys and says, "Bring the mounts back here." It says it in dwarfling.
All right, I'll say back in Orphan. And yeah, well, let's do this.
Follow you.
All right.
I had 4 more uses, and it's 11 HP,
2.
which will probably just go all back to Olgan.
Okay.
So that gives him 18 HP back
Okay.
on
Sweet.
top of what he had,
Gotcha.
which was 7.
Yeah, and then after we drop off the mounts behind the underbrush, climb up.
Gotcha. As you guys climb up, you can see as you get up here, what looks like slats of wood have been built on a couple of these branches, and you can see what looks like some of these branches have been extended out with foliage on the underside to hide what's actually up here, and you can see that it's kind of been concaved around. You know that these treetops have some dense leaves sometimes. This looks a little bit unnaturally dense to a trained eye, but like in here it's actually a lot more spacious than you see. It's like a good 12, 13 feet of space in this tree canopy that actually they built like a makeshift wooden floor on, and you can see what looks like they even have a rock circle that they've been actually like cooking on and stuff, and you can see what looks like that there's branches and what looks like a tent cover that's around this, so maybe to keep in the light, even up here. It looks like they've been sleeping up here. And you can see that they have what looks like bells wrapped around the top of the tree and on some of the branches that are surrounding this tree. They're pretty well hidden, though.
I would not have expected this from
This is
down
crazy.
there.
It's quite ingenious.
Hello.
You watch as Mac gestures as you guys all start coming up, like grasping down hands as you guys start coming up here.
Oh, it's Mac.
Yeah. Good to see you.
You guys made it. Looks at Olgan, looks at Rudy, and nods at him. Huh. A little bit scuffed, a little bit aware.
Had a
This is
run-in with the
horrible.
Moringa on the way over here in ambush.
Wow. You're really some unlucky folks. Well,
Unlucky or just stupid. One of the two.
Probably a bit of both.
We try to be as quiet as possible, but this place is just way too dangerous.
you ran into any scaries?
Only from a distance.
Saw them. Didn't actually have to deal with them, though.
Watch out for Big Blondie. He'll get you.
Big Blondie.
Oh yeah, that's the big one. He's the leader of the pack, you might say.
Does he have white hair?
Kind of a pale blonde. White in some areas. In the sun, it looks pretty white. Yeah. Really beautiful. Very dangerous. Shot him once. He chased me for like an hour. Very vindictive.
I bet it flows like corn silk in the wind as he glides through the forest.
Yeah. I'm sure you wouldn't think that when he's stomping you to death. But,
It's good information for Packard's book, though. Hair that flows like corn silk through the wind as it glides through the
Another thing to watch
majestic
out for the Wereskiris. Some of them more feral than the others. Some seem to have a handle on their stuff. They hide somewhere around these parts. I don't know where.
Where scary? It's like werewolves.
Yeah, kinda. But more like the squirrel things around here. They take on the likeness of them instead of the wolf.
I think I just saw some.
Yeah, I believe we
Really?
saw one.
Like,
Did it notice you?
no.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll be talking to you if it did, depending on the temperament.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem quite formidable.
Most things here that are not within the city seems pretty formidable.
It's almost like the entire island is just...
But how has your
Horrible
time
place.
been up here?
Pretty busy, actually. We got here first thing last night, so pretty interesting evening and pretty interesting morning. But, everything's kind of quid pro quo, so I'm just curious. What have you got for me before I unveil? Quite a lot of details, I might say.
I mean, I guess I'll let you do this. I thought that Gusto said that we were just, working together.
Oh, he did.
Oh.
This is me. I mean, everything can't be free, can it?
Well,
There's a Cheshire cattle bleep us here.
ran into it on the way.
Wow. Now, I'd heard rumors, but, well, an actual sighting. Interesting. What did it do?
It wanted to talk.
It attacked us.
It wanted to talk.
Are the eyes as dangerous as they say?
Well, it blew a hole in the tree.
One of these trees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never done that.
It stank like ass. It's a horrible, rancid smell.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. If you smell something like that, run away.
You watch as he starts running away. I'm just kidding.
You're such a
Rudy
jokester.
might smell like that. It kind of rubbed its asshole in his face several times.
Oh, me and the champ go way back. You watch as he just goes over to Rudy and just gives him a high five. And you just watch as he says, Rudy just says, I tried beating him one time in an arm wrestling match, and suffice it to say, I beat him about 65 times or so, but he beat me once. Pretty good. To even beat me once.
I think he could beat you again.
You watch as they look at each other, and you watch as Mac starts to say, why did you have to say something like that? And Rudy just gets argumentative as hell and just says, you've never accepted my rematch! You just kept the victory and you never accepted a single other match! That is unsportsmanlike! You watch as
Yeah,
Mac
gotta
says,
go out
another
on top."
time, another time.
I have 10 silver.
Really, I don't think this
Mac.
is the time.
Gotta go out on top. Plus, I don't think Rudy can beat him again now. Now it's in his head. It's a mental
Rudy
game.
shakes his head and Mac says, right, so Cheshire Catoblepus. Yeah, I mean, that's hardly news. The were scary, interesting. Okay, alright, so, I have something that you'll think is very interesting.
Okay.
There's been some activity on the shoreline near the lighthouse. We saw 2 ships last night, but they had their sails and their colors down. Couldn't tell who they belonged to. Long ships, though. 2-story. Looked like they had headquarters within them. So, probably quite a crew. Not sure exactly what they were doing. They came about 2.5 hours before dawn and left about 30 minutes before. Only there for about 2 hours or so. Not sure what happened. There was a great mist across the harbor, but I did see the lowering of jolly boats into the mist. So clearly something was done. As far as what actually occurred, not too sure, but we did see those jolly boats returned, and they were returned with barrels. It looks like these were unloaded onto the ships. Looked like humanoids that were on board. Nothing too particular. Most of them were pretty covered up, and we're looking from a great distance, unfortunately. But definitely something's going on around those areas, around the shore, the lighthouse, possibly in the lighthouse itself. We did observe the lighthouse, and we did see a couple interesting things, but I'll let you fellas elucidate me on more interesting tidbits.
Do you think it could have been the Yellow Glaive?
It's
They
definitely
do have ships
possible.
that are similar to that, but
Only
then so do
reason-
the Dagger Hats, so do the Vice Corps.
The only thing is they probably wouldn't be aligned with Moringa, considering they're willing to align themselves with the Vicar.
True.
Whoever it is, it's very powerful. They have a lot of coin.
More information for you.
Come on now.
We can tell you.
Booster's been talking about you lot. You gotta have something for me. I mean, he doesn't take a liking to just anyone. I should know. I'm one of the few he likes.
I ran into a creature in the forest last night.
Alright.
You ever heard of the mirror song stag?
A stag.
Yes.
The Mere Song Stag. You're alive. That's interesting.
I was.
You killed it.
I actually, yes. I was
You
told
killed it.
by my.
I've never even gone within a mile of one of those. That's wild.
Yeah, it was tough. I lost a friend, a really good friend, during the whole entanglement, but I'll give him the coordinates. It's in this area. This is where I've seen it.
Very interesting. And you killed it. Was it hard to kill? I mean, no offense. I mean, but did you have many people with you? What was the situation like?
I was alone. Well,
You were alone?
Me and a friend of mine.
Is this true? You watch as he's like looking at you guys like...
Yeah, this is true.
I mean,
I would say that I didn't see this, but I believe him.
Ever since
He wouldn't lie about this.
we did see some glass or mirror or whatever it was.
We saw a full-on Mearsong stag's horns. Not attached to a Mearsong stag.
You got some horns from this creature.
I did. I hope to make one of the finest instruments on this land here and
Go feed them,
make some good stuff.
Interesting. You keen on selling it?
Maybe after I make a good instrument, maybe I can sell one of my instruments.
I think I might know someone that'd be very interested.
Well, we'll keep in
Alright,
touch.
over.
Well, definitely. Once I make the instruments, I'll keep you in mind. I'm hoping to make a couple. At
I'm
least.
just saying, I could have a buyer lined up within a week or so. Something like that would probably fetch the open market, maybe 30, 20 gold.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Shit. We could have brought the light lure with us here.
Probably he'd have been very interested in being here.
God damn it.
He's a pretty good musician, that one. All right, that was interesting. Okay, you took it on. I mean, let me ask you something. You don't seem like the most, hearty guy, so clearly you got something going on. How exactly did you injure it? What'd you do?
Well, I play music that interacts with certain elements and things that will can actually hurt creatures pretty powerfully. It's
That's magnificent. Interesting. So, on to what I know. We did see a couple people enter into the lighthouse. First thing in the evening. Couldn't really place them. Rather well covered. And then another two, closer towards the morning. But we only saw one person leave. And I recognized this one. He's one of the attendants and the musician there at Ike's Pickled Port. The bard, Whistle. Viore Whistle. You know him?
You
yes.
saw him leave when?
I saw him leave this morning.
That's impossible. He was
Saw it
in
with
two.
my own eyes.
Yes, he was in two pieces.
This happened about hour before dawn.
Oh shit, that's the guy.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's supposed to be dead.
Kroll cut him in half. What the shit is happening?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Looked pretty alive to me. Didn't look like he was cut in half.
See how we got home and he was gone. There was nothing there. There's something. He must be.
They must have a way to somehow revive him. I don't know how from that. That's quite a death.
I mean, we seen them revive a kid, right, in the temple.
You're not wrong.
So I'm sure they have all the power to resurrect anybody they want. Which is clearly what it looks like what happened.
I'm gonna whisper to the lizard that brought me the notes. I'm gonna tell it to tell Barug and Ali, if you're still in Meadowhip, follow Viore. Right, is his name? Viore?
You know that the game plan was to take Dibbles immediately to Twin Tier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just so you remember. Like, if they did extract Twin Tier Ho.
Okay. Then
Right, back
I
to
will
your
tell...
guy, back to the, if I remember right, back to the mercenary house, the
Okay.
Righteous Storm house. That's right.
That would be the most
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah, no, I think you're correct. So, never mind then. Scratch a doozy that. Also, I guess the other question, this is out of game, but when was, what's his name supposed to arrive in Twin Tier?
Danzam? Rebellious?
No.
Valtumber 15th. Right now, it is Valtumber the 7th.
No, what's his name? The cleric.
Oh, Steadwin?
Steadwin in 2 more days.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought it was like meow, and I was like, damn it, we suck.
2 more days.
Okay, 2 more days.
That is...
Tyler, can you oscillate this?
Oh yeah. Well, maybe.
No, it's fine there.
Max says, we actually followed him all the way to the locale of where we're informed by that fella, Ignilpa, where the death matches are. But we actually lost sight of him. It makes me believe that there's either something hidden that's going on around there, and I didn't want to search the area and get found out. So we were hoping to just start going and scouting it out around the evening time, see if we can see some people moving out and about, figure out what's going on. But we did see him go that way, and then as he went behind a certain thicket of trees, couldn't see him anymore. Searched around from every angle, he disappeared somehow.
So you lost sight of him around the area of the death matches.
What Ignilpa said, we don't have a precise location, we just have kind of a locale. Didn't seem that he was very informed on the matter, to be honest.
Okay. I think it would be a smart idea to scout it out maybe tonight.
That's what I intended to
I
do.
believe. So we should rest up, though, before
How
we do
far
that.
away are we from the lighthouse now?
We're about 1.5 miles. Straight shot, but it's rocky coastline.
Do you think it would be safe for Olgan to stay behind? Here.
Well, we don't intend until leaving, until about 8:39 or so. We know that the match happens in the evening.
I don't think we should leave until we rest up, all of us, but it is, at least, it won't matter a difference if I go.
Oh.
I don't know about yourself.
I'm gonna send a few guys out there immediately, but I was gonna stick around here waiting for their intel. And I have a couple guys out there right now.
Smart.
Oh, I don't think
Who do you
there's a
you're
reason.
dealing with here? In fact, I'm waiting on a report here in about an hour.
I say we just wait for the information.
Okay.
Start resting up now.
It's not a bad idea.
As for the lighthouse, there's an entrance at the front of it. It looks like there's a couple of disheveled window openings up the top of it. We have seen some movements on the top side of it. Not really sure what's going on up there. But it's kind of hard to see. A lot of the open panes of the glass on top have been what looks like frosted or molded over with mildew or something. So you can't really see within it, even though the top of it have some glass pane domes. Some are broken, but there's no light coming from it. So pretty hard to see from that distance. Sent some creatures that could see some things, but didn't really see much. Saw a little bit of movement in there, but not really anything other than what seemed like just sudden movements and then nothing. Basically, whatever's in there is pretty good at hiding.
And from the sounds of it, there's quite a few things in there.
I saw 4 people go into that locale and only 1 leave, so.
And they just went in the door.
In the front? Yeah, exactly.
What it's meant, you must go up to go down.
I imagine, at least it comes off to me as there is some way at the top, or on the way up, an entrance that leads to the structure beneath. It could be very direct.
Possible.
Could be. Well, anything that we need to do in the meantime? Do we have more information to exchange?
Anything else that you have the ability to trade?
At the moment, not anything really comes to mind pertinent to the situation. But I do have a suspicion or two, and one final piece of very juicy information that's news to me that Usto don't even know yet. So, if you want this, you're gonna have to tell me something of equal worth.
As far as we know, Kadric Snidigan is dead.
That's interesting.
I can give you the name of every person, perhaps, that died at that meeting.
I was aware of that.
The Vice Score is also dead.
All of them.
Only the captain.
One captain.
And-
You know that this was
Yes.
a Troust.
Yeah, a
This was
Troust.
not a captain. This is like an admiral.
Oh, this is the Troust that died.
Once again, I'm aware of your altercation. I don't know why you think that's news to me. It happened out in the public. You know that, right?
Sure.
I do. I just didn't know that you would know where you were out of town.
We've had open lines of communication. It's only about 2.5 hours. 2 hours by Giebzel.
Do you travel quickly through this forest?
Sometimes. At night I do. Come on now. There's gotta be something. I'm telling you, what I got is very juicy. You're gonna like it. Let's just say someone that's directly involved.
Go ahead.
Well, I can give him something juicy. You might hate me for it, though.
I might.
You might.
I guess we'll find out.
We know what the Circle of Moringa is after.
The heart is here on Archeolog.
Come again? What?
The plum
It's
soul.
over his head. Choose something else.
Are you aware of the being that makes up Moringa, or that what Moringa made up? She's only a piece.
Really? No, I'm not really aware.
Then
Religion's not really my strong suit.
Then this will be the information. Moringa is one of 5 pieces that makes up a greater entity that was split sometime after the event of the plummet.
Oh yeah, plummet. I remember that.
That's what it was related to.
That? And it's a heart from that creature?
Yes,
That's what they're after.
it is.
So why are they here then?
It's here.
We believe
It's
it's
here.
we believe it's here on the island.
Holy shit. Wow. Alright. I think you outdone me on that one. But yeah, I saw Panskar of the Dagger Hearts along with a few guys moving towards that locale. But I think they caught wind of our scouts. They turned around.
I think we actually might be able to elucidate you on that situation. Zuir's probably looking for revenge. Or maybe Panskar has his own dealings with the Moringa. I don't know.
Or Panskar is a piece of shit. There's a reason I didn't want to talk to him in the meeting. He's not worthy of my words.
We don't know. Only have suspicions.
Either way, in some way, I think the Dagger Hearts are involved directly.
Well, people have been disappearing.
Maybe we should.
They're the
That
most
seems like the right kind.
openly direct with the citizens.
Seems
No
like
other group is, so.
seems like a good group to get muscle to kidnap people for death.
Maybe we shouldn't have saved Zuir.
Or maybe this would change things. Who knows? Could have been the right play. Only one way to find out.
Very true.
Well, I guess if there's nothing else, I'm gonna just rest until we're ready for tonight. This
Same.
is quite a little thing you've got going on up here.
We have another one 30 feet up. You can see that another thicket of branches, and you didn't even. This one is even better hidden, this one that's further up. Feel free to use it.
Holy shit.
Wow. This is paradise here. You guys did this all in one day?
We're used to it.
Oh, I'm gonna head that way.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of parchment. Like, do you mind if I inspect it? I'm
Okay.
interested in things that are engineered.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to study it pretty closely and like see how its design makes it work to see if there's any way I can maybe in the future replicate something like this.
Yeah. It really looks like just a lot of simple ingenuity, honestly. Like, it's simplistic, but it is structurally sound. Like, Someone who put these branches together and chose these specific limbs knew that they could probably load bear right and built the structure in a way that would complement dispersing as much of the weight as possible. So you get the sensation that, you know, either Mac or one of his guys has a little bit of construction knowledge or something like that, a little bit of crafting knowledge there to build in this way.
I'm picturing like the Ark Survival tree bases
Yes.
that you build.
It's like
Yes.
rudimentary tree houses that are, you know, built on really thick branches, built of other limbs and branches that have been in some way worked, so that way it's a nice floor to step on.
Yeah. But yeah, just gonna see if I can maybe find out later, at a later point, figure out if I could reverse engineer this.
Oh yeah, you certainly think you could. That's pretty smart what he did to keep a good canopy like this and to have it, you know, in case a skewery comes on here, they should be informed from the amount of bells that they've hung up and hidden around the branches. So pretty safe, at least to at the very least not get surprised easily.
Mm-hmm.
And from the ground at night, no one. It would be very difficult to see this. In the daytime, level with it, you could notice it. Above it, a lot more noticeable. But seems like it's meant to really just provide shelter from whatever's on the ground. So, as you guys start relaxing and resting and thinking over the crazy combat that you had, you feeling the remnant of that power is still within you, but in some way that the curse, the effects of it have been lessened. And as you reach into your bag, you can see that that other circlet is gone as well. You can make a religion check.
Ooh, it's a 20.
You know that there are levels of ascendance in deitic powers, and it's one of the reasons that Serechifod interests you so much, because it doesn't have that structure.
Okay.
You understand that, you know, Protopos at the top of the Drifting Summit at any point can choose to disallow abstract control from one of the followers there. Same with Zazimaz. What happened is really not that significant, to be honest, from a follower of Zazimaz. It's one of the perks of being at the top.
Interesting. So he's the one that pretty much denied her. All the way through. Okay.
I'm going to approach Olgan, and I'm just going to say, you all right, friend?
I'm ready to rest up and end this tonight, one way or the other. If I can't overcome this, I can't take back Konetsko.
Well, you'll have my blade.
You carry a blade?
The little one.
It's still round. It rounds up.
Is Cerule safe?
I believe so. She's with a friend, a trusted one.
Good. Truly, I'm sorry that there was something that was able to follow us and do that. We have a member of the Righteous Storm on his way here that can hopefully help her if you'll allow him to see her.
If it comes to that, I would allow it. But I'm hoping that there's something we do here that solves it as well.
I hope so too.
There's something more going on with what Moringa has. As you can see, items that denote her. Zazimaz can dissolve, but I can feel remnants of the energy still within him as he gestures to Zagan. There's something more going on. Not just power from her, otherwise it would be banished. Someone very powerful. Maybe Linkira herself, as we discussed. She might be stronger than we imagine. I'm telling you, for it to still persist requires significant will.
The will to shunt that of Zazamos.
Not necessarily. Zazamos controls what Zazamos controls. He does not interact with the powers of mortal beings. Only those under his purview.
We do know that Linkira has power for more than just one entity. She is a priest of Heslior, so she could also have significant power just in that own right as well.
Hesliora is nothing more than a facade. A remnant of Moringa's will.
I see.
Either way, we know what it took for me to be able to bring someone back from the dead, and they did it with ease. It took the will of 2 gods for me to even be able to do that. We know they're strong.
Perhaps. We don't know if that's exactly what they did either. It's hard to say.
Horrible.
There's something wrong with it. It wasn't... It was tainted in some way.
You guys see as Rudy shifts over in his sleep?
Oh, God. Jeez. What did he eat?
Alright, well, while we're all here, let's get fucking smart, okay? Because we almost died in that last combat. I almost died.
Olgan almost died.
Logan almost died.
No,
We have to,
communicate better.
going forward, work as a team. I know it's difficult with so many of our brothers gone. Cole leaving for something seemingly more important than this at this moment. We have to be smart. Good thing the smart ones are all that's left, eh?
Did you see that creature? It, like, jumped so far. It went from one spot to another spot, and, like, it covered so much
I think
distance.
it was flying, not jumping.
You
This
remember
thing
that the creature moved
was
very
so-
quickly until
so
it got to
quick.
the stairwell, and then it felt like
Yeah.
it struggled
too
to
big.
move. Yeah, but it was still keeping up with you guys, even despite like being like hurt and shunted in every direction, forcing its way through unnaturally.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to move that way. I think we were expecting to get away by dashing. Everyone just ran in separate directions, but once we realized it was targeting Olgan, then we knew that we had to get rid of it.
We just need to work better together. Get a plan going.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think we should run away so quickly in things, a battle like this. But sometimes we have to at least get away of being hit right away.
I agree. And while we have a moment, I remembered something after I released that creature. While I was controlled, it was I who got down and captured. Somehow they knew my connection with him. They made me go to him and bring him to the mirror. And he was taken into the mirror.
Oh no! In the mirror! That's gotta be the worst place for any kid to go. Weren't you gonna adopt them?
I
Oh,
was. I am.
jeez. Well, it's time to step up now.
But hold on. You're saying he traversed the mirror.
He was forced into it by that same many-armed creature we just fought. Or something similar.
There's more of these creatures?
Do you think
A lot.
they're capable of traveling via these mirrors?
Perhaps. I'm really not certain.
Like Maybe stepping through the mirror puts them onto another plane of existence and they can traverse the land.
Maybe the lighthouse.
I believe that is the case.
Maybe the lighthouse.
Or it allows them
We
to...
could probably cover ground significantly if that were the case.
Likely.
You will see as Tarfi speaks up and says, "It is said that there is magics that deal with traveling through mirrors in Waridia.
So why not here?
I'm gonna look at my mirror and poke it. My finger will not go through.
Your finger's missing as it goes through.
No! The mirror's too small.
It sees you. Yeah. But the only other place I know of anything that has to do with mirrors is the mirror monks up in Zweisenor, but they're very private. They don't allow anyone to come to the monastery.
Traveling through mirrors in Waridia, we know that Waridia is fleeing something for fear.
Seems to be the case. Maybe it's connected to this.
I mean, if they can travel through mirrors in the same way, who's to say that Waridia wasn't a test of theirs and they could just have sent whatever creatures they wanted through the mirrors into Waridia?
Potentially. It could be what's making them flee. Could be that they're being overwhelmed.
All right, well, I guess that solves it. We got to go through the mirror.
We saw another one of these mirrors at the House of the Lost, though.
You did. Maybe it's simply that they can interact with this mirror, not that the mirrors are
All
an extension. Perhaps in some way they could be. But as far as we know, there's something specific that these mirrors could be made of that allows them to be unique. Not just be a mirror in itself.
Well, they're made of true silver.
Yes.
True.
So if we want to try and learn more about this, we need to be able to make a true silver mirror of some kind. We do have some. I don't know. We're gonna have to find more if we want to try and...
True silver is not a thing you find, you know. It's a thing that is made, and it is incredibly rare.
Yeah.
Because it is not just silver, it is blessed silver. And the rituals to do that have been lost with gods that have died.
Wow.
So it needs to be bought.
So basically, the
found.
true silver that's here is what's available.
Pretty much.
Okay.
True implies divinity touched. In this context, you would understand.
So yeah, we need to find more.
So we need to find the House of the Lost again.
That would be something that would be great if we could find
Only
it again.
meaning that it's not a thing that can be mined, it's a thing that must be
No, that's
traded
what
and
I
bought.
was implying.
No, you don't understand. Gotta go to the swap meet. And
How much true silver do we have?
I think we have 13 pounds. I'm not remembering the...
I think that's how much they needed.
yeah, I think
was
they
it?
needed.
We had a
I
significant...
thought we had like 2 ounces.
I think it's ounces that you guys have. I don't think it's poundage that you guys have.
I'm
Because it
forgetting
wasn't-
the exact number.
Yeah, we can figure that out later, but it was not enough to matter for.
It wasn't.
what do you
Yeah,
call
it wasn't
thing.
enough, but it was a significant amount of it.
It was. I think that you guys ended up with like 10 ounces of it or something like that. I want to say.
It was something like
I
that.
think so. So it was nearly a pound. I want to say. It certainly wasn't enough to make a mirror, but it was certainly enough to like, mold with other material into other things for sure. The true silver. It was enough to make the key.
Yep.
Is that what we did with it?
Yeah.
It's still
It's
in
a
key form.
Yeah. And it hasn't been used yet, by the way.
Nope.
Well,
once
The
we-
key to an adit, which is a cavern dwarf remnant place that they have found some of. They have a key that is what they're currently discussing, because I know you guys don't know what we're talking about right now with an adit.
We'll have to we'll have to explore that after we explore that adit, but maybe we can find another use for that key if it's not lost in the opening of that adit.
It may be of great importance for us to keep that key safe.
I think it's of almost paramount importance.
If the heart is locked behind the door that key opens. I saw a familiar added, right?
No, just an adit.
Oh,
It didn't look
it was
like
just
one
like
you've been
similar
in. It was
enough
clear that it was new to you. It
Okay.
just looked similar.
Oh, okay.
Whatever's there is important.
What does an attic look like?
They kind of have like a very unique structure that's made of dark stonework, and every time you go to the entrance, it's always a circular structure with some kind of obelisk in the center. And it always has cavern dwarf writing on the edges. Have you ever been inside of a Gravitron, like the ride at that? It kind of looks like a larger Gravitron type thing, except like 5 times as big in space on the inside, and no foam panels and stuff. It's not spinning, but that's kind of what it looks like.
Think like the things in Skyrim where you go to learn a new show.
Yeah, the cavern dwarves are clearly aliens, and these are flying saucers.
Should have known.
Spelljammer.
Yeah, secretly, it was always the year 69,000, guys.
We're just on a shitty island.
Yeah, this is actually a spaceship.
We're in a simulation.
You guys see as a
gotta get
astral
off the trip.
whale eats you guys, your planet.
Excellent. Okay, so what's our game plan then?
Rest.
Rest.
Check out these deathmatch. Well, collect
Scout.
information from scouts.
Who
Form
was-
our- we need
were
to
gonna
form
have
a-
someone fight in this originally. Yes.
Well, we
Rudy.
originally going to have Rudy do it, but I
He's been
don't.
invited, to fight.
He's probably our ticket if we want to try and walk in. He's probably our ticket in. We're just say we're with him. He says that we're with.
We're the entourage.
Maybe that is enough to get us through the door.
He needs an entourage.
We find
He's a big
some-
fighter.
Maybe we can find someone that we know is from Moringa. We can capture them. Maybe get some information. Maybe use them as a way to sneak into the Moringa place. But that decision should probably wait on what we should do until we get the latest scout information.
I don't know if Rudy will be capable. He suffered some pretty good damage.
Who says he's going to have to participate? Maybe we make a move before then.
At this point, you can see what looks like Tarfi approaches you guys and just says, I think I have a pretty good idea of how to best utilize these folk. Plan A, Plan B. We're Team A. We're going in to try and capture someone. But surely people will leave this event. If we fail, he gestures down to Mac, they could try to capture someone too.
I like that
not a
plan.
bad idea.
I like that plan a lot.
Now,
What do you think, Mac? You down?
He watches, he's like, turns his ear up from 30 feet below, says, yeah, it works for me. Clearly listening to you guys. Clearly listening.
Now, who was the one that said something about addicts can move, and if one might have moved towards the shoreline? Didn't someone say that? I thought I had a
I'm struggling to recall who specifically told you this. I think it might have been Eropo Thosos.
It was.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah, I think it was Eropo Thosos. He
Yeah.
seemed pretty historically studied. You do know that Clomascorpia has excellent schools, and
we
they do
also
take
learned
history
that
pretty
there's some
seriously.
added in Clomascorpia that they've been incapable of opening, right?
Yep. That the Pharaoh has asked specifically to set a temple there
That's so
multiple
crazy.
times,
Right.
and he's been refused.
And I'm going to tell Mac, that to tell his scouts to keep an eye out for something like that. If there's anything that's moved or anything that's strange looking like that on shorelines anywhere.
Gotcha. Max says that he has seen some movement. He got a report back from the scouts, and he lets you guys know that they saw once again as people walked behind that familiar thicket, and he saw as they disappeared, but they did see the locale, and they were searching around the area, and they've got it zoned into like about maybe a 50-foot radius of where they expect these people coming in and out of. And that if someone comes again, they should be able to find out exactly what's going on, where these people, what point they're disappearing. So they've zeroed in on a pretty precise locale at this point.
Okay.
So, yeah. As the time is going by, let's make a luck roll. Let's see if they get lucky and see specifically what's going on. We're looking for a 12 or higher, guys.
And does Rudy know exactly where to go? Since he was,
No.
it doesn't say on the flyer, huh?
A 12.
So,
Bare minimum.
as you guys are resting and relaxing, coming out of different watches whenever you might, feeling pretty comfortable that Mac and the scouts and Tarfi and all these dudes here, they're also keeping an eye on things. All of you drift in and out of consciousness at different times, thinking about different things. You think about the Meersong Stag, the altercation that you had with it, wondering why it was necessary to do. And as you're doing so, go ahead and give me a religion check amidst.
Oh, there. Big money banger.
Oh, that's a 5.
Oh,
Little money banger.
As you are seeing this altercation happen once again, you see yourself in this Meersong Stag coming to ram you, and you just see your own reflection in it. And instead of ramming you, you feel your body move through it like liquid glass. As you...
Am I sleeping? Am I
Yep,
dreaming?
you're sleeping. Yep, you're dreaming.
Okay.
And that's really all you experience. As you are asleep, you definitely can see what looks like a few different people. You're not sure exactly who these people are, but you recognize what is Vesiva and Resto. And you can see that as they're interacting, you can see what looks like Vesiva start to argue with him, and as she does so, you can see that she summons a Wicker Man. And that as she does so, that this Wicker Man starts to change from what is that large Wicker Man shape into a medium creature that reminds you, and then fully looks like Kadrix Niddigan. You can see that his form is different though. That it's, instead of being human skin, that it looks like bark skin and twig and thicket wrapped tightly, just like the Wicker. And you can see that he maintains his sword that he had in life. And you can see that between her and him, they start engaging with Resto, and things look dire as you wake up. You, as you are asleep,
No.
you can see what looks like a dark, misty area before you, and purplish energy starting to emanate from this mist, and you can feel that it's heavy and deep and all-encompassing, and it feels depressing to feel this energy, this drag on your soul that's here. And you can see as this all clears and splits down the middle and bisects, and you can see what looks like a familiar statue, and you can see that this one right now looks like it is holding what looks like its hands over its eyes. And you can see that as it's holding its hands over its eyes, you notice that it's like trying to push its face like away. And you can see that as it's pushing its face away, that for the briefest of seconds, you can see that one of the hands goes to move and shift on this statue's face, and you can actually see one of the eyes is looking at you. And as it's looking at you, you can see what looks like beyond this eyelet. It's odd. You can see what looks like lights, and you can see what looks like several of them, and you can see what looks like all different variations of color. And as it does so, you can see what looks like these aren't just lights, these are lit up words. And you can see as these words start streaming out of its eye into your what looks like visage. And you can see as it just, all these words just start entering into your ears, your eye, your mouth, and it's overwhelming. Make a Constitution save.
natural 1.
Natural 1. You can see that as you're up, you can see that he starts gurgling and he starts like convulsing in his sleep. You're not sure what's going on. You can maybe, it looks like, try to offer some medical relief.
I'll try and wake him up.
What do you do?
I mean, I guess my first thing would be trying to shake him.
He's already taken care of that.
Yeah. He's just shaking more. Harder.
He's convulsing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can see that there's blood coming out of his eyes, his nose, and his ears.
Yeah, I guess if there is... Oh, man. I don't know if there's anything that a medicine kit can do. I don't want to use magical
wake up?
healing.
Does it wake me up?
Yeah, as you see Virkin get up in a rush.
Yeah, then I'm gonna like slap him, see if that does anything.
He's just...
All right, Mario. Give me a performance check. You're gonna have to contest a god.
Oh, that's 17, 22, 23, 24.
I rolled a nat 4 and got a 22. And as you slap him, you can see as Zakin wakes up. And as you do so, you can feel your head hurts. You're just like, oh, what the hell? And you've gained an unnamed blessing. You can cast Comprehend Languages, proficiency mod times per long rest.
Oh,
That is so
my
cool, dude.
James, are you all right?
But as soon as I see that he's awake,
But you do take 2 psychic damage.
That's fair.
as soon as I see that he's awake, having the dream that I had, I'm going to step away from
It looked like a premonition of things to come, not things as they are.
Okay. Man, I don't even know. All this wicker stuff is all just trial and error. I don't even know if I can do this. I am going to focus on Resto and man, this might be crazy, but I'm gonna try to whisper to him,
What do you say?
and I'm just going to say to him, be careful. Vesova is coming for your head.
Make a caster ability check.
Natural 2.
As you close your eyes and you try to focus on the wicker, you can feel what feels like a branch mentally in your mind growing. And you can feel that it's thick and it's very knotted and tangled. You can feel as it starts to untangle and starts to reach. But unlike Avatar, you do not connect with this other strand that seems to reach out. You get the sensation that it is possible, but you'll have to try harder. But cocked. You die. Yeah. You do feel another connection that's reaching out, but it seems to struggle to connect to you as well.
A connection from not.
You're not sure where, but you do feel like it is. No, it seems like wicker,
Oh.
but it also doesn't reach you.
Anyway, what the fuck was that? You've got blood in your eyeballs and
Just, my
Your
God, trying to help
nose.
me out. My head hurts. There's a lot of words being put into my mind. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try something out. I'm gonna pull out that inscription that I copied down from on that arch below the Temple of Hesliora. And I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages.
Gotcha.
as you
you
this,
cast
it'll help your head.
comprehend
I'm a chicken
languages
pig.
and you do speak dwarf, you can go in and give me a history check with advantage. Because this isn't just speaking the language, this is like a hieroglyph interpreting the meaning of a symbol that has thousands of meanings.
Wow, that's really not good. Great. 16.
16.
I give you some leaves.
Just some leaves.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you try to identify it, then
Yeah, see, they just look like leaves to me.
You see what looks like some things come to light and you start to get some meaning from certain things. And you don't fully gain the entirety of the passage, but you do gain what is a very intriguing part. And as you start to see the word mirror, you start to see what looks like many. It seems like many mirrors. Okay, So as you start expanding on the things that are close to the left and right of that, you say, it's of the many mirrors. Then you see it says one of the many mirrors. And as you keep reading more and more and just keep trying to gain more knowledge, you find on the right side these glyphs. I mean, it looks like something that you recall, but you're not too sure. It's like trying to say a color of some kind. And then it comes to you, and it's like, of course, and Nazar kind of comes to mind. And you can see that it says the many mirrors of the silvering. And then that's really all you gain from that check. It's just not high enough to extrapolate the full phrase.
Interesting. Yeah, as I'm like looking at this, just gonna like blink and like, Jesus, this is still really hard to understand, but the silvering's involved. Somehow with the mirrors. The phrase I'm getting is the many mirrors of the silvering.
You guys know that the silvering is when extraplanar forces interact and intersect with this plane of existence. And it typically, a silverish energy besets whatever planar energy erupts. And that this happens in the sea far more often than it happens on land.
So you think something's trying to cross over?
Potentially, these mirrors are maybe a pathway for that. And the silvering, maybe in conjunction with these mirrors, empowers it? Enables it? Yeah, I need to take more time and study this. It's pretty difficult to understand.
Maybe with the mirrors there's a way to force a silvering.
Perhaps, maybe they're more sensitive to it, so they interact with it more easily.
Possible.
We need to learn more about both those things, though, to be sure. There's also something about a specific mirror that seems to be mentioned, but I don't know what it is.
Where was this inscription taken from?
I copied it down from inside the temple when I went with Nilti.
What about
In the
those?
temple.
What about those mirror things? You grabbed the glass mirror things from the stag. Have you looked at those at all?
Not yet. I'm gonna take those out. I'm gonna inspect them.
Yeah, it kind of looks a little bit unique once again. You can either make a smith tools check or a alchemist doesn't seem appropriate. Glassblower? I don't know. Glassblower's tools? I'm trying to think. I would allow tinkerers. I would allow tinkerers as well.
Tinkers?
Yeah. You can add your intelligence to this, by the way. Plus your proficiency, obviously, since you're proficient.
12.
I was really thinking not 12.
Yeah, I figured when I
like
saw the
17
roll,
or 18.
it was gonna need much better.
But even with the 12, it's obvious to you that this is metallic mirror. That's odd. That's what you pick up. Like, this isn't normal. Like, you know, metals have reflective properties, right? But, you know, this has a pseudo glass-like quality and a pseudo metal-like quality. It's very odd.
I'm not really sure. I need more time to study this, but
As you are looking at this, make a religion check.
Has anyone gone through the mirror?
14.
Which mirror?
Any mirror.
I mean, I've never traveled through a mirror.
So far there's one in the temple and one in the house of the lost. There must be more, according to what he
You
just
don't really gain
deciphered.
much with that, buddy. Unfortunately.
But we know that the mirror at the temple and the mirror at the House of the Lost were true silver. And you're saying that this is a metal mirror?
These things seem to be metallic in some sense.
Mirror?
Yeah.
That's from the mirror's song stag.
Well, if the mirror in the temple is what we think it is, that is a massive true silver mirror.
If the mirror song stags, not saying that they're true silver, but if they're capable of similar type things,
They seem to be.
then we need all.
As you guys are kind of all looking at this and it's out, yeah, all of you, or you can help each other out. You can make a nature check if you would like.
Don't
I
help me.
can help you.
You've not been good.
Looking for about a 17
Wait.
here.
Is it happening? For once?
Okay,
I stopped asking.
Which is it guides you as you guys are all looking over this.
Just because I'm so interested.
18.
Yeah, as you guys are looking over this and you're chipping at it with your tinkerer's tools and you're not really gleaning much, as you put away the tinkerer's tools, you leave what looks like one of the magnifying glasses out, and you can see as Virkin notices it, and as you notices it, you can see what looks like a little bit of a sheen that seems to move a little bit on this. And as you're looking at it with your eye and you look at and point this out to him, you can see that he points it even closer. And as he does so, he's like, what the hell? You can see he pulls out the spyglass and the magnifying glass and finds a point at which he can get like a double lens effect from it. And he has to like stand back a little bit in order for this to actually work and then like dial in some. And you can see what looks like organic structures within this material. This is organic mirror.
What organic?
It's
metallic,
alive. Like,
Yeah.
this is life.
like live metal.
Like it looks like
Yes.
skin from a
It's-
creature of some
yeah.
kind. Like yeah.
It looks as if I cut off your hand. Same thing.
What's like a fish scale or
It's the
something?
same thing.
But if you cut off my hand would be dead.
Sure.
It's not
But
alive.
it's still
It's
organic.
just organic material.
It's still organic.
Yeah.
It is still something that came from something alive. So these creatures are more alive than I thought they were.
It was beautiful.
Did you touch them, yes, on Stag?
It hit me. It charged and hit me with its head.
Did you experience anything unique when you collided? Did you pass through it?
No.
Did you? No, nothing.
Nothing out of the ordinary. I tried not to get too close to it, except for the time that it rammed me.
You did see it do a lot of unique things, but yeah, when it hit you, there wasn't anything specifically unique other than it hurt a lot.
Yeah, it
And
just
its head was mirror as well.
it had
Does-
these spiritual
When I look at
creatures.
this, does it look like it's
that were
the metal-
surrounding
yeah.
it?
Just, yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh,
No, you're good. You're good.
It was like entities that were just like ghost figure-ish that were just all over its body.
It had ghosts around it.
It was some apparitions, something that it was like rabbits, dogs, like just different creatures that were just all over it, but in spirit form.
They were on its body.
They were kind of just.
All right, you've got to get more
surrounding it.
detailed about this fight. What happened? What happened when you got near it? When you saw it? Did you see anything crazy?
When I first
you hit
heard,
it, did anything
when I
happen?
first heard the song, I felt the sensation, and I was able to shake off the sensation. And as I got close to it, I seen it was coming, and I seen these creatures that were in the trees, that were these. They were the mirror things, right?
Yeah, they would look like shards of glass that had arms and legs.
Yeah. So and they were in the trees, and they were shooting arrows at it, weren't they? I don't remember if they were shooting
They're
arrows.
shooting arrows at the stag.
Yes.
No, the creatures weren't shooting arrows at the stag.
They weren't?
Yeah, you actually snuck by them and got right up to the stag. They were throwing daggers and they were trying to hit other creatures in the vicinity.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
they weren't hitting the stag. It looked like they clearly were under the influence of the stag.
Okay, so they're clearing out the path. Okay, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So they must be working in conjunction with the stag as they cleared a path for it. Anything that was in its way, they threw daggers and took it to clear its path until I was in plain sight to actually try to take it out. And that's what I did.
So they're probably connected in some way. These glass creatures and the stag.
It seems so.
They both had the exact same reflection property on them. Like they both looked like pieces of glass and they both had that iridescent shine to them.
Yeah, I think they were.
And you literally saw these things break off this thing's body and like run around.
Yeah, it's like it's fleas or something, because they just come off and run off and get you.
So, what happened when you hit the stag? It just like a normal creature?
Pretty much. But of course...
You tried to hit it and it did nothing when you tried to hit it. You used your shatter, if you remember correctly. That's what damaged it.
Oh, yeah. It didn't take much damage
Well,
until...
Saberfrost hurt it. Saberfrost hurt it.
Yeah, only magical items were the ones that really did anything.
And shatter.
And the shatter was the strongest thing to really do damage. But after that, Lepsy helped as well, and that was the end. We killed the creature. And Lepsy died right at the last minute. Saving my life. It would have killed me if it wasn't for Lepsy.
Do you tell us about the spirits that left it when you hit it?
I would have told you, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if
Do you think they're connected?
I don't know if there's more. I'm wondering if there's more. That's what
Maybe
I'm trying
these
to figure
mere
out.
song stags have bigger meaning and purpose than what we thought originally.
Potentially.
So there's a family of these things, so there's got to be more?
Perhaps they're everywhere. Well, if these mirror songs are and they're correlated to these mirrors, and you're able to travel through these mirrors, it only makes sense that these things are able to be potentially anywhere.
It's a scary thought. I don't want to run into one of those things again.
I do.
I think we're going to have to.
Well, I guess we'll be at least a little more prepared this time.
And you won't be so alone. Well, less alone.
Yeah.
Well, have we all gotten our rest?
As you guys are finishing up the last of your rest in the final watch, you see as a final group of scouts comes up and informs Mac. You see as he shouts up, just says, "Got a precise location. If you're done resting, come on down here." You can see that the sun has set at this point and it is dark. It is 8 p.m.
All right. Go ahead.
I think it's go time.
Mac informs you. So we've seen what they've been doing. They have an underground hut. Looks like a hatch of some kind, about 10 feet wide. Seems as if it slides out and slides back in. That's why we didn't see anything lifting and these people just going straight down. We were able to ascertain that one of them went straight through it and able to find it. So we have an entry point.
We've seen something like that before.
We have. Well,
Same engineering.
same. We thinking of doing the same plan?
Furthermore, there's a couple of humanoids that are seemingly up there right now. And there has been a couple people that have already gone in. So, if we're going to do something, this is about the time to get the move on.
Well, we talked about what our plan was. No changes?
We can stay up top, catch any stragglers that leave, that exit, see if we can capture a person or two. That's it. You guys plan to go inside and partake in the events. Maybe you can find a way to snaggle someone on the inside as well.
Hopefully. Just be aware, I don't know that they're related in any way, but the last time we saw something like this that took us underground, they had, if it's related to the circles of Moringa, they had some very well-trained archers that were killing people that tried to go through the hatch. I don't know if they're related, but there could be someone watching from afar.
Very good archers.
Well, simple thing. Very easy. And you watch as this guy, you can see that he pulls out what looks like a piece of thistle. And you can see as he says, "You know what this is?
I know what it is.
It's a thistle bud. Put it in your ear." And you watch as he softly blows a thistle whistle, and you can feel that thing vibrating in your ear. And then he hands over a thistle whistle, and then he puts one in his ear. If you're in trouble, whistle it. If we are, we'll whistle it.
There.
It's fucking cool.
I know, right?
All right. So if we hear that whistle, we just got to get out of there then, huh?
Yes, and I think it might be a good idea just to add this before we go down. Perhaps you can make a silent image or something of someone like approaching. Just if it's an unwanted thing, they'll probably try and shoot it.
Yeah, Yes, I can definitely do that.
Perhaps we can get an eye on where they might be if that happens. If nothing happens, then obviously we're going to go in.
Okay. Good idea. I'm willing to do that.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right.
We ride.
We slide down the rope.
As you guys all start climbing down the rope, get to your mounts, all of you get mounted up. As you start to do so, you can see as Mac gestures over to one of the scouts that's with him, and you can see that he says, "Everybody stay nice and tight, close to me." And you watch as he just starts to whisper, and you can see around him what looks like an aura starts to form, and you can see as it spreads around his body, and you can just hear the difference in the sound as you move within this, as you guys are all under Pass Without a Trace.
Nice.
Okay.
So, give me a stealth check, guys.
Did you roll bad?
So I rolled for all of Mac's guys, and with Pass Without a Trace, they got a 26. And then I rolled for Mac, and he got a 40. So I have 66 between two people so far.
I rolled 16.
And you guys can just roll for yourselves. We're not going to roll for everybody here. Just yourselves. That's fine. Yeah, just keep it simple. We're not rolling. If I was going to roll for everybody, I'd be rolling for like 7 more of Mac's scouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, yeah,
No,
just keep it nice and tight. Just roll
I
for
got a
yourself.
15.
Total?
Yes.
Wow.
I rolled
okay.
a 1.
So that is an 81. Mario, what'd you get?
16.
That is a 97 total.
With the plus 10?
With the plus 10?
Oh, plus 10.
So
then.
107. Tyler?
I got a 20.
So 127 divided by 5. Yeah, you guys are doing really good. That's like 25. 25. Yeah, 20, yeah. 25. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, as you guys are moving through the forest, you guys are incredibly quiet this time. Roll a d6 for me.
It's back to you, buddy.
A 1.
$1 billion.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Any two of you that want to. Mac is also going to make one. Not so good. Neither are his scouts so good. I rolled a 9 for Mac and a 3 for his scouts. And that's a natural 14 plus. Okay. What's your guys' perceptions?
I got a flaccid 20.
12.
Okay. Make a luck roll, guys.
I think it's your turn, Mario.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what we got. 12.
12. As you guys are moving through the forest, you guys are moving incredibly stealthy. You can see what looks like, with your perception, another group that seems to be in the moonlight a couple 100 feet away from you. You can see what looks like 5 humanoids in this group. It looks like, they haven't seen you guys, but you guys have noticed them. With your dark vision through the spyglass and through a couple of you guys working together and seeing them, some of their weaponry, the glints of it off the moonlight, you've been able to spot them. And as you spot them, you can see what looks like, it seems to be they're moving in the exact same direction as you guys. Maybe they're heading towards this deathmatch. And you can see that as it looks like they're heading towards this deathmatch, you notice what looks like, as they're walking, you can see a screen. And you can see what looks like what was 5 people, that there's now 4 there. And you can see what is something move across them as this happens at a very fast pace. And you can see that immediately after these happen, you can see as swords are drawn, spears are drawn, bows are drawn, and then they all start facing back towards each other. And as they're facing back towards each other, you can see as this swift creature just flies across once again, and you can see as it stands above them in the moonlight, about 17, 18 feet tall, you can see what looks like this giant squirrel that has pale fur in the moonlight And you can see that as it lifts itself into a cartwheel form on its hands, and then you can see that it pushes itself up, does a flip, lands in the middle of them, and stomps down.
Oh my god.
You can see as it stomps down that all the remaining 4 people just fall to the ground. And you can see as it just starts stamping on each of their heads. And you can see as it's just watermelling them, just exploding from this distance. And you can see as it does so, it's done trampling, that it starts climbing up a tree. And you can see as it starts jumping from tree and gliding and jumping from tree.
Does it have a flowing mane?
It's bloody and it is long hair. You can see that it's off the moonlight, has a very red and pale fur look to it. It looks pretty gruesome as it's moving away. Surely this is Big Blondie.
Oh my god.
That thing is huge.
That thing is awful.
Thing got a 21 on its stealth, but it got a 5 on its perception, so it didn't notice you guys.
This should be a ballad. You should create a ballad. A ballad about the bloody blonde hair flowing in the wind.
That would be a great song.
Big Blondie's banger.
Where's my...
You're gonna be the one to write it.
I need a piece of bark.
I got big parchment.
As you guys
I
are
have
moving forward, you hear as Mac just turns around and says, shh, shh, shh. We're very close. We're about 5 minutes away or so.
Did you see it? No. But did you see it?
Yes.
Let's stay out of its way.
That's why we want to keep quiet.
Okay,
All right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Now, we're about to be there. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to keep a close watch on the area, but we're probably going to stay about 100 feet away, and I'll have guards that are stationed all around in different areas watching for some of those archers you were talking about, and anyone else that might be untoward. Here's the lick. If you hear me whistle 3 times in quick succession, something like that, through this, that means that we're in an engagement, but we're fine. If you hear me whistle once, that's an emergency. If you hear me whistle twice, I'm just checking in on you. 3 whistles means you're fine. 1 whistle means an emergency. 2, that just means that, you're checking in on me. It's the same code. 1 for danger, 3 for fine. And if you hear 3 independents, that means we're engaged, but fine.
Okay. Simple enough.
Well, we'll take some positions. You know how to contact each other. All I ask is that you just be smart down there.
We'll do our best. I'll see you on the other side.
What do you need to do to cast your spell?
I can just cast it at will.
Right, but do you
You
have
watch
to
as they take your guys' mounts and your horses and all that stuff, and they go. You can see that he sends a couple scouts to go out with them, and then he meets up with 4 guys along the way. So you can see that it's Mac and 10 other guys with him.
Okay. Do you have vocal and somatic components to it?
I believe so. Yep.
How's Rudy feeling about all this?
I'm ready for it ever, I'm ready for a fight. I don't intend to lose, so I'm not really scared of the whole fighting to the death thing.
Good.
Well, I'm trying to win some coins, so you better do good.
You know who you're talking to. Alright? I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat the shit out of the other person.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
what
if I'm
like
gonna
to
kill
hear.
him, but just depends how much I like him or not. We'll see.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, it's a vocal, somatic, and material. A bit of fleece.
Okay, gotcha. There's a little bit of wind tonight, but it is not particularly, what do you call it? It's not particularly quiet, as this wind is blowing through, ruffling leaves and trees. Just occasionally you can hear what is, different sounds in the night of different creatures. You time this in a way using that excellent stealth check from earlier to time it with a significant gust of wind that's causing underbrush to go up, and as you do so, you're able to form this image away from these people without them catching notice. Actually, I will just make an active check just in case. They don't seem to notice as you cast the spell.
All right. And
what are you casting, by the way? What are you creating? What image?
Just like a group of the same 5 people that were just taken out.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, you're about 40 feet away from them right now, and you're in like a bush that's you're hidden in with your guys' same stealth check. Although your guys' stealth would change after leaving that thing. But for right now, that scout is with you guys, we'll just say. Just because you obviously need it. So, your check is still the same, just kidding. Anyways, so,
Yes.
regardless, it looks like he's going to maintain with you guys until you make your move. Right. So, as you send it towards them, you can see as these people greet, and you can see that as they do so, it looks like they hold out a hand.
I'm just gonna make them look like, and have them like look like an odd look, like kind of like disgusted.
You can hear as these people say in Sessian, "Stop playing around, what are you doing here? Come on, where's your invitation?"
Gonna nudge Rudy.
Can
He
I?
holds it up.
Well,
Three pockets
well, we're
in.
still. And can I like sign image that to come out of his pocket, like one of the guys?
Make a performance check.
Okay.
You can't give it to him now.
Right. He's just gonna show it to him, just to be like, "Hey, here." Ooh, no. 11.
An 11. As you have this guy, like, haphazardly pull out the scroll, you can see that he looks at it, and you can see that as he does so, make a luck roll. Let's see. All right, that's not a very good check, but let's see if you accidentally produce something that's a decent replica or something that is incredibly not.
10.
Oh, gotcha. See, as he looks at it, and he's just like looking, and he's just like, you know, inspecting it, and you can see that it's just like, he's just reading off, and you can see that it's like, he's reading off what's clearly lyrics to a song that you had been thinking of today. Like, you just didn't nail the letter. You can see that as he does so, that he draws a sword, as does the guy next to him, and you can see that this guy, well, no, he draws a sword, and the guy next to him draws 2 daggers. As he does so, you guys can see what looks like they start to stab at this, and you can notice what looks like a tattoo of a dagger that's piercing through a heart on the edge of one of this guy's palms.
And then I'm just gonna, should I release the spell? That this one should walk up.
As they do so and start hitting into this and nothing happens, you watch as they're like, what? And you watch as the one guy turns the dagger heart and says, let Buddha know something fishy's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna release it, and then we should just walk up.
We should wait a second.
It should probably wait a while.
You think wait?
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes.
Okay.
We should
okay.
wait. We should wait a little bit.
You can see as a hatch opens and they both descend down it. You can see that a few minutes go by, the hatch reopens, and you can see that what looks like 6 people come out. You can see what looks like Buddha of the Yellow Glaive come out, the 2 people that were up there, and you can see what looks like 3 other people, that are under Buddha's direct command. You can see that they're in similar garb to her and that they have glaives on them as well. You can see as they kind of start looking around the area, but before that happens, you can see as Wuda, you're going to see as she waves her hand in the air, and as she does so, you're going to see how her eyes kind of light up for a second, and you're going to see as she starts searching around the area.
I think we should walk up now.
Let's go. I'm gonna say like loudly, enough to be heard. Like, let's go. Don't be a fucking pussy to Rudy. And I'm gonna like pull him out the bush.
You watch, make a persuasion check.
11.
You watch as Rudy just like, kind of does so, and you can see that everyone is like kind of looking at him, and as he does, like, you kind of get the sensation that what you just did wasn't very persuasive, but as soon as everyone's eyes are like kind of on him, he's just like, you see that he jumps out of the bush, just says, all right, where's this bloody fucking death match? I'm ready to kick some arse. All right, hey, you lazy bums, get out here. Who's gonna massage my shoulders and hold me up after my victory? Come on now. And you watch as he starts just walking like straight over towards you.
All right, come on, let's go.
You watch as she just like glares at him, is just like, do you have an invitation? And you watch as he just like clearly holds it up. And it's like, who do you reckon you're talking to? This is your future champion. Show some respect, lady. You watch as some of the dudes just start laughing a little bit and chuckling. You watch as she just like looks to her two dudes and just says, expect double duties. And you watch as she goes and lifts up the shaft and it like starts to go.
Nice.
Alright. As you guys enter down the shaft and start heading out into what is this, clearly this long ladder that leads to what is a humongous opening, we will end the session there.
Climbing down this long ladder. God damn it. They should have some people with pulleys lifting us.
Should be faster.
We know that they're strong enough.
I should have
Thank you guys, those of you that were here
Thank you
watching.
so much,
we
guys.
appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you've seen here. We are giving away Goblin Minis once again. And be sure to check out that Patreon if you like some cool content that you can use for your adventures. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Let's get lucky.
Let's get lucky.
Yep.